Continuing with our series of how to excel in Excel, we will talk now about formatting cells, how to set the column width to default, and how to hide a column or a row, and how to set a cell style using the templates that already existing in Excel. And next we will talk about adding or removing rows and columns in Excel in the easiest way possible. And eventually we will talk about splitting worksheet to panes, how to use different panes in displaying your data as you're building your project using Excel sheets. And finally, we will talk a little bit about conditional formatting. With that being said, let's jump into our Excel. So we have here an Excel sheet with a typical data entry. We have headers of the table of A, B, C, and we have numbers from 1 to 9 distributed per column, either for column A, B, and C. Now, what if you want to hide a certain column of these? You don't want to delete that column, but you want to hide it for now. You don't want to show that as you're representing your work to somebody else. You want to be able to have that column to be hidden. I will do a left click on the mouse on the name of the column. When I see the column highlighted this way, I will right click right here and go all the way down to hide. That means you are trying to hide the column. Click left, click on the mouse. Now you hide that column. If you give a little attention between the column B and D, you hide column C, but you can see there's two horizontal arrows to the right and to the left. They are representing, in this case, the hidden column. Then you can left click on that column and expand it to show it up again. Or you can just go up here when you see this mark, not this mark. So we learned before, this mark of two arrows and a solid line between them can give you the option to adjust the width of that column manually. But there's a different icon that you can see right now. There's two bars between the two right and left arrows. So you right click right now and you chose to unhide. That means you are unhiding the column that's hidden right there. So you can see here column C is showing up again. What if we want to hide a row? I can choose row 1, row 2, row 3. So I click on that row until I see the highlighting going to the end of that row. I will right click and click on hide, then you hide that row as well. If I double click on it in the left button of the mouse, it will unhide that row again. So let's hide row 3, hide. When you see this mark of two bars between the two vertical arrows, then you can click and hide in a manual way. So that's how you hide your cells as moving forward. Then if we want to talk about how to add or remove a column, so you go to the point where you want to add a column before. Let's say we want to add a column between columns A and B in this case. Then I'll go ahead at the top of column B, click on it. When it's highlighted, I will right click and choose to insert. Then you will insert a column automatically before the column you already highlighted. And you will observe for your data, there is a column between A and B, but since Excel is using their own tagging for columns, so the new column is having the name B, and the column that had the name B previously is now C, and so on. But your data having a column in between A header and B header, you have an empty column that you can use to put your new data. By default, Excel, if you right click and insert, then you choose to insert a column, then in this case you will insert a column before the column you highlighted. Let's try with rows. You highlight row 2. We assume that Excel, by inserting a row, will put you a row between rows 1 and 2. Right click, insert. So we had a row before rows 1 and 2 previously, or between row of A and row of 1 in this case. So that's the new row we had. So again, let's redo it. If you highlight B, you want to insert a column, the column will go to the left of column B. Insert, you had a column before B. If you highlight row 3, you right click insert, that means Excel understands that you want to insert a row. It will insert a row before row 3, and the new row will have the number 3, and the previous row will have number 4 in Excel tagging and naming. But in your data, you will see a column between the first set of data and the second. You will see a row between the first set of data and the second set of data. Same thing for columns. Okay. Now, what if we want to use the predetermined? So we're using the predetermined cell formatting of Excel in this case. Let's say you want to format this cell using the Excel predetermined formatting. Then, in this case, we go to Home. Then we go here in Styles. You can drop down menu and choose the style you want for that specific cell from the predetermined design. If you like any of these, they serve the purpose of your work, then you can go ahead and choose that. Let's choose this accent of green, and you can highlight more than one cell and give them that kind of formatting. Let's say when you use this kind of formatting, then all the cells you highlighted will have this new formatting. Now let's assume you have this column or this set of columns, and you want all the columns with the highlighted area to be set to a default width. You know, columns, sometimes you say auto fit with the content, as we learned before. Then the columns sometimes will have different width all over your worksheet. What if we want to standardize that and give them a common width? In this case, we go from Home to Format. Then we can say column width. You can set the column width that you want in here. Or if you want to change the default width, in this case, the standard column width is 8.43. What if we put it as 20 in this case? Then you can see the column width is standardized as 20 all over the worksheet. So that will make your life easy. Before you plug in your data, you make sure, let's say you know that you'll be putting a lot of data or a lot of text in your cells, then ahead of time you can adjust the defaults of the column width and make your life easy instead of keep formatting and pulling back and forth between the columns and making your sheet looking it's like not standardized or not in a well formatted way. So finally, let's jump into panes. How do you make panes and why we make panes in Excel? Sometimes you have a set of data here, you have another set of data here, another set of data here, another set of data here. You want to show all of these data as separate papers or as separate worksheets in one page. In this case, we go to View and we go to Split. If you split, you can see you have 1, 2, 3, 4 areas. The beauty about it, doesn't matter how much data you have here, even the data is not showing up here, you can scroll. So you choose this one and you scroll back and forth in your sheet, right and left, until you show the data you want. And you scroll here as well. So you can see all the data side by side. You can split horizontally, split vertically, and all those details. So that's a good trick to help you viewing more than one data set. And remember, you can add always tabs and showing the data sets all together and taking screenshots and generating your report maybe in Microsoft Word or in PowerPoint and being able to show your data. But this is used if you're in a meeting, you want to show the data or an update on your data in real life in a meeting, then you can probably use that option.